What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over all the leaks and news we have about what content is going to be coming to the game over the course of Chapter 4 Season 1. Obviously, with this being a new chapter, we've already gotten so much content already, but this season is going to last up until at least March 10th, so there is still a long time to go until the next season, and a lot of content that we'll be releasing in the game over the course of the season. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, interesting, whatever, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below what aspect or item or new feature you were excited to see come to the game in Chapter 4. The first thing we're going to talk about is going to be first-person mode. This has been leaked for a super long time, and it's been one of those things that we see Epic content constantly working on it and constantly updating it. But it just hasn't come to the game yet. We thought it would be last chapter, shortly after Zero Build came out. Didn't happen. People thought it would be at the start of Chapter 4. Still hasn't happened. But in the Chapter 4 trailer, there was a clip where it showed like the Doomslayer in first person messing with this like action figure style thing. And you could argue that that's just irrelevant because it's just something in a trailer. But Fortnite loves to leave little clues and teasers like that in the trailers. So I wouldn't be surprised if first person mode ends up coming to the game sometime during Chapter 4 or even during this season potentially. The next thing is going to be skating. This is another feature that we thought we were going to get last chapter, and there was even like a leaked animation or clip that came out around the time of the summer event, which is when we thought we would get it because the summer event had all of those skate parks added to the map, but nothing really came of it. But now Fortnite is even selling skateboards, I think, on Amazon and Target, so they are making skateboards, and it's something that they've clearly worked on in the past with this leaked clip or animation. So I think we could see skating come to the game sometime soon. For whatever reason, it didn't happen during last chapter's summer event, maybe during this season's summer event, or at some point in the near future as they are starting to sell these skateboards in-game, which is like a kind of, or in stores, which is a kind of like random thing to start doing if you're Fortnite. So I think skating will come to the game at some point. There's also a potential Die Hard collab that could be coming to the game. Donald Mustard tweeted out this Die Hard building that he got as a gift and then said like, yes, it is the best Christmas movie, which is often a debate around this time of whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And it was also leaked in the Fortnite versus Apple lawsuit that there was a Die Hard collab coming to the game. And there were a lot of potential collabs leaked during that lawsuit that have since then come to fruition. And it's also like very common for Donald Mustard to tease collabs like this. And it's also common for collabs to get teased or leaked and then sometimes go months or seasons before they're released. Like Doomslayer, for example, we thought I think was going to come to the game in Season 3. It was definitely heavily leaked and rumored that Doomslayer would be coming to the game, and then it didn't happen. And so, of course, everybody kind of blamed leakers and said that they were lying. But as you see in this season's Battle Pass, Doomslayer is a part of the game. So whether something leaks and doesn't come out right away doesn't necessarily mean that it's not true. So we could definitely end up seeing a Die Hard collab in the game at some point, which would be interesting because Warzone has already had one, and they had an entire Nakatomi Plaza POI, I believe is what it was called, and John McClane skin in-game. So it'll be interesting to see what Fortnite does and if they one-up Warzone's collab with Die Hard. The next thing is going to be a Firefly rifle. There will be a flamethrower coming to the game in some capacity. There's some stats here, and there's also a leaked clip on In the Shade's Twitter. His account will be linked down in the description below. There are a lot of clips of leaked items that he has on there, but I don't know if I can show them on YouTube without the video getting like striked and taken down, so I'm not going to risk that. But if you are interested in seeing the clips of this item in a very like early state, they're on their Twitter account, along with all of the other leakers whose content I talk about in this video. They will be linked down in the description below. So there will be a flamethrower rifle coming at some point. Not really sure how this is going to play out. I don't think this is going to be something that I'm a fan of. I already am not a fan of the fireflies that we have in game there, or the flame bow. Like, just dealing with the fire in this game is always so bizarre, especially off spawn when you land at a building and someone just decides, like if you and another person land on the same building and then for some reason they just decide to burn the building down so both of you die or kind of have your games ruined. I just feel like the fire is just an irritating item to play against most of the time. The next thing is going to be a bush item. So like the porta bunker where you throw it down and then it builds the bunker, there's going to be a bush grenade which you can throw down and then it will create a bush. This will be an interesting thing to stack with the augment that allows you to heal in bushes, or just a chaotic endgame or an area where there's not very much cover and stuff. I don't really see this being something that I would really personally use ever. But it is pretty interesting to potentially stack it with that augment that makes you heal in bushes. Maybe stack it when you go to revive somebody in zero build. You can't always build around the person to protect them or carry them to safety. But if your teammate is knocked and you just throw a bush at them, it'll make it much easier for you to revive that player. Also, I feel like throwing it around reboot vans could be quite helpful in zero build if you wanted to reboot somebody, or in the capture point in the center of POIs you could throw this down, and then it would make it easier for you to capture it, or at the very least give you some sort of protection while you capture it, so you won't just get like beamed from every direction. So I do think there could be some interesting uses for this item, even if it isn't something that you want to consistently carry. We're also going to be getting a shield item. This is called the Guardian Shield, and it will allow you to put up a shield as you walk, so you'll be able to like hold the shield out and move forward. And you can also plant it, and there's like a certain amount of charge to this item. It's very similar to what Reinhardt from Overwatch does, if you guys ever played that game. This was shown in the trailer twice, once with the character kind of using it on their arm, and then once with it also planted. And there also is a leaked clip of this on In the Shades Twitter, like I talked about before, so go check them out if you want to see this item in game and how it's going to work. There is an owl that will allow you to ping players. This is very similar to a recon drone from Warzone or one of Sova's abilities in Valorant, and this was shown in the trailer with the character launching it, flying it around, and then pinging opposing players with it. So there's lots of games that have had a feature, an item like this, and I imagine it'll work very similar to those. It'll be interesting to see if this works through bushes, though, because tagging people through bushes can be inconvenient to do. But once you ping the person, if you have like Storm Mark or the firework launcher when that was in the game, the capture point, or this owl device, this could be a pretty good counter to bush campers or just for seeing areas around you. I think in team game modes especially, this could be super good. There's going to be a power guitar item coming to the game, which is essentially going to be the Boombox 2.0. If you guys didn't play in Season 7, there was a Boombox item which you could throw down, and then it would destroy all the builds in that area and basically prevent people from building in general, because every time they placed a build, it would be destroyed by the boombox. So this guitar is going to be a more intentional version of that, where you can use this item and then destroy people's builds with it, and it will do a lot of damage to builds. Not really sure if this is going to be something you really actually see people using. If it kills bushes, then maybe, but I feel like there's other items in the game that allow you to destroy builds. Grenades do it fine. Just the spray weapons do it fine. I feel like taking walls with this item would be weird. The hammer breaks builds. If the RPG returns to the game, which I think it will after Winterfest. So I don't really know how powerful or how effective this power guitar will be, but I imagine it will be an item that a lot of people enjoy using, just because it's a guitar that you can use to destroy builds and potentially fight other players in game. So that sort of thing will definitely attract a certain type of player. There are also new motorcycles coming to the game. Epic are working on 2 new motorcycle types, a cruiser and a sport. The bikes we currently have in the game are just dirt bikes, so these will likely be something that's faster, maybe something that has more seats on it. I don't know how that would work. Probably don't perform as well off-road as something like the dirt bike, but it'll be interesting to see how they kind of carve out a niche for these different motorcycles, and if we see cars potentially removed from the game, because if we have 3 different motorcycles in the game and cars, that's a lot of vehicles. I feel like there are custom skins coming in Creative 2.0 at some point. It's probably not going to be there at launch, but Tim Sweeney said that at some point in the future, people will likely be able to create their own custom skins in Creative 2.0, and I wouldn't be surprised if you're able to submit those skins to Epic and potentially have them actually sold in the Fortnite item shop, because they've done a lot of things like that in the past. There have been very, very many fan-made skin concepts that ended up coming to the game. So if they have the ability for people to create their own custom skins in Creative 2.0, I think we could see some sort of, fan-made skin contest type thing where everybody's able to make a skin and submit it, and then eventually someone's skin gets brought to the game. I think that would be really cool. And Creative 2.0 likely will be delayed. So it was initially going to launch in January. That was what we thought. But with the recent live stream, there was a lot of issues with the live stream. They were supposed to show Creative 2.0 on December 15th, but that live stream just got completely canceled or postponed because of how bugged it was. So if they can't even stream the event, it's kind of unlikely they'll be launching it in less than a month. So maybe Creative 2.0 or Unreal Engine Editor Fortnite comes out in January, but I would not be surprised if this gets pushed back to potentially next season, just because of how many times it's been pushed back. And I feel like if something isn't even in a state where a brief demo can be shown to the public. I don't really know how much is going to change in a month when like half of that month is Epic's break, because Epic went on break recently until early January, so it's not like they're working on it now. So I really don't know what we're going to see with Creative 2.0, and it's been delayed so many times already that I think Epic really don't want to release it unless it's like 100% ready to go. And the final thing we're going to talk about is going to be some leaked augments that will be coming to the game. So augments are one of the new things that were added in Chapter 4, and obviously when something new gets added, they're going to, that's going to be a new way for them to add content to the game. So I think definitely over the course of Chapter 4, we will see new augments come in, augments get vaulted augments come back, and even like buffs or nerfs on the particular augments. But some augments that we know about that will be coming to the game are Midas Touch, 40 AR ammo once, and gold every time you eliminate a player or AI. So this will be a way for you to farm gold, essentially. Players already drop gold when you eliminate them, so is this going to drop even more gold? It'll be interesting to see how that goes. Peely's Plunder gives you a treasure map, so if you guys haven't played whenever the treasure map was in the game, this is an item that you get, and then it brings you to a chest that you can dig up and open for usually high tier loot. So this is going to be an augment you take, you get that treasure map. It'll definitely be like a good item off spawn, or if you're in a scuffed situation and trying to regain, this could be a really like high tier augment. Skill check gives 50 HP and 25 shield if you eliminate someone with a common or uncommon weapon. So a white or green weapon will give you 50 HP and 25 shield. I think that's really interesting, and it'll be cool to see like what kind of playstyle derives from this. Like if there are weapons in the future that aren't as impacted by rarity. Siphon Shotgun heals your shield and HP when you damage a player or AI, I assume with a shotgun. Hunter-Gatherer spawns a bush, apples, and mushrooms where you eliminate someone, and it cycles between spicy soda, low gravity, and energy regen effects every 12 seconds. That sounds ridiculous. Like there's just going to be a bush that pops up when you kill somebody, and then you'll be able to go there for heals and interesting effects. Deft Hands auto-reloads a specific unknown weapon every second if you switch away from it. So I interpret this as the weapon type isn't decided yet. There is a perk in the game right now that reloads your shotgun when you're sprinting. So I imagine when the weapon type is decided, it'll be like auto reloads your SMG when you don't have it out, or auto reloads your shotgun when you don't have it out. I assume it'll be like a class of weapon. Danger Hero, run and heal fast for 8 seconds when your shield breaks. That sounds actually like really helpful. You'll be able to use heals faster and run faster after your shield breaks. And 8 seconds is a long time in Fortnite, like your fight can be over and you can almost use a med kit in that time. So if you're able to drink big pots faster after your shield breaks, that could be good, and that could kind of bring in some more of those slower use healing items potentially being used, because I feel like for the past like several years, like slow heals have just dominated the game. Zero shield, zero chance gives you the 0 point effect for 8 seconds after your shield breaks. This is like where you can double jump and dash around when the 0 point fish was in the game. Icy Slide, Icy Feet effect for 7 seconds. I'm assuming that means after you slide, since it has slide in the name. I would never take this augment. I do not like the ice effect. Riftjector Seat auto rifts you when your shield breaks with a 40-second cooldown. This sounds very irritating. Last time Rift to Goes were in the game, there was a lot of clips of people being upset about it, or I had a lot of comments of people talking about it. When Ninja like fake quit streaming, it was because somebody was rifting away from him. And if this is a perk that automatically makes you rift, imagine how frustrating that would be, because with the Rift to Go, they had to find the Rift to Go, and then they had to switch to it when you were like damaging them, right? With this, you could take someone's wall, pump them, and then they just rift it away. Or you could have someone dead to rights in a wide open field, and then they just rift away. You could have someone mid-hammer as you're like beaming them, and then they rift mid-hammer animation. So I think this thing will definitely be something that annoys a lot of players. And then finally we have the Shadow Strike, which gives you a Shadow Bomb. So the augment system I think will definitely be like updated and fine-tuned season to season, update to update. Any type of new content they add to the game is also a new type of content for them to continue to add, or like any category of content, is just more stuff that they continue to add to the game. And we see some interesting effects, some old items returning in like the shadow bomb and the treasure map. So not only will we have the core loot pool of what's in the game, we also have like kind of the extended loot pool of what you can obtain by augments. And we've already seen that with like the tactical assault rifle and combat shotgun augment, which gives you 2 weapons that aren't in the normal loot pool right now. So that is going to be it for this video. That is all the leaks and all the information we currently have about what content will be coming to the game over the course of Chapter 4, Season 1, or, Chapter 4 in general. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below which thing I talked about or which aspect of the game you're most excited to see come during Fortnite Chapter 4.